the cameras, Selma. And now we are streaming live.
Okay, I didn't expect there will be gathering in Rector. Yeah, so it will be a kind of different event than a Zoom meeting. I think it will be this blended form. I'm sorry, I was not informed about it. This is a different development.
Mm-hmm. So they will be in the hall, Rectorate Hall, right?
Seems like.
Mm-hmm.
And they're making some arrangements. I see Niels here and Martina. Do you know more about these developments?
Yes, hello everyone. I think there was a misunderstanding with Vice Rector Kudláček, because I really suppose that because of the current COVID situation, it will be really safe that everyone meets online, but he insisted on arranging that big meeting room, sitting there with Rector and himself. I guess it will be only two of them. Maybe I didn't understand him correctly, I'm not sure. But I was asked to arrange it for the last minute.
Okay, I see Rector there, yes.
So,
okay, ladies and gentlemen, shall we start? Or can we start?
Yes.
If you don't mind, I will take part in your session for half an hour. So let's go.
Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, again. Thanks for everybody for joining, and I would like to take this opportunity to frame our meeting today. We have scheduled our meeting for update on the work packages. We have arranged also streaming for internal links. Deans and vice deans were sent the invitations, so we're not sure who is following us, but the primary purpose of the meeting today is to get update on our developments in given work packages and activities. So welcome again, welcome here. You all look great and healthy, which is good news. You all look positive and you are negative, which is also a good combination of things. So now I would like to ask Selma to give a short introduction to our meeting today.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Nice to see everyone together. This is our first progress reporting internal meeting at Palackého University. Work package leaders have been invited to this meeting to participate, and also activity leaders and co-leaders from Palackého University. The agenda of today's meeting has been sent to all of you. It follows the structure of our work packages. So each work package leader will give an update from their work package level, and that will be complemented by activity leaders in that very same work package. So in work package 3, we have Maria Rakova complementing her activity. In work package 4, it's Maria Drničková and me for 4. And in work package 5, it's Vice Rector Bilic complementing work package 5. I would like to start then with work package 1. That's basically management. So I'm going to start to screen share and show you a short presentation where we are with this work package now. I hope you can see, just a second. This should be visible to everyone now. In work package 1, this is a brief overview. There have been a lot of developments, of course. This is the management work package, and we have been seeing 4 drafts. 4 drafts have been produced so far. They concern governance, communications, monitoring, and financial management. There is a 5th one that I'm mentioning here. It's the mobility guidelines draft. Doesn't really belong to the work package 1, but it's also an important draft that has been produced by colleagues in work package 3, and it concerns the mobility of students and staffs under the Aurora mobility scheme. So we do have a consortium agreement, and we do have communications draft, which is actually communications is more connected to management plan, and financial manual draft. I will take you through these quickly, what their aims are, how they're structured up. I'm not going to introduce you to web and PR guidelines draft. This is basically just about the visuals and how we should be using our institutional websites and communicate about Aurora. That will become clear to you when you explore our website. And it's also mainly information for the communications officers. So consortium agreement is finalized. We have a final draft to be signed in the coming weeks, and it mainly touches upon responsibility of parties of each university member in consortia. It has the section on liability towards each other. It has the important governance structure, financial provisions, and also section on results. It has in attachment approved budget and also the grant agreement regulations from the European Commission. If we look at the governance structure, by now I'm sure you're all familiar with it. It's quite complex structure, but it follows this bottom-up and also top-down communication, I would say, between different bodies. So on top, we have Aurora Alliance Board with the presidents of each university presented there. This is the main executive body. We have beneath them, there is a board committee, which is nominated by the Alliance Board to prepare the meetings for the board and to prepare the agendas, and to help them prioritize topics to discuss. Aurora Alliance Board meets on quarterly basis and committee as well. Beneath that, we have Aurora Alliance management team with program director Sabine Alain Sant and Kees Koevenaar, who has been Aurora secretary and still remains Aurora secretary. So that's our management team. And then, as you know, you have work package leaders at Aurora Alliance level within 6 work packages, and you have task leaders and co-leaders, and you have local institutional coordinators who are overseeing the entire process. On the side, you have very important working groups, vice rectors for research, their board, vice rectors for education, and Aurora Alliance student board. And then also there are some external bodies such as a stakeholders board, which is just being formed now, and a quality management board. So moving forward, we have a same replication at Palackého University. You've seen this inner structure with the central team that responds to this Aurora Alliance governance structure with the core team, vice rectors and work package leaders, and academicians and experts from various faculties of Palackého who are members of activities, but also lead some activities. We have student representatives, and we also have associate partners, since we are in charge of the activity for collaboration with associate universities and also building the network, extended network with associate university members. If we come down to the work packages, you are familiar with them. This is just an overview. These 6 work packages and 26 activities across these work packages. We do have a co-lead, as you know, in work package 4 and work package 6. This is, you can find this on our website. This is a full list of our participants across the work packages, names, and you will find the contact details on the website. This is just for the overview. I'm not sure we will have time to go into each activity today. You will just get a summary from the work package level about all these activities. It's a rather complicated structure. If you look at the work package 3, we have a vice rector with Zohar overseeing monitoring implementation at Palackého University, and we have all our participants here. We participate in each activity. We have Marie Rakova also leading activity 312 Aurora International Internship Program. So she will complement Vice Rector Zohar when they give us a briefing about what's new in the work package 3. I've also highlighted the pilot domain people here, the 4 pilot domains through which all the collaboration and all the deliverables take place in Aurora, which is important to have in mind here. Work package 4 is led by David Kosina at our university, but he's also co-leading it at Aurora Alliance level with John Style from Rovira and Virgili. And here we have a co-leadership in work in activity 4.2 collaboration platform, and that's Maria Drnčkova, and also in 4.4 with me, we will give you, we will complement David Kosina when he gives you a briefing of what's new in the work package 4 so far. Work package 5 is led by Vice Rector Pavel Banaš, former Vice Rector Pavel Banaš, Professor Pavel Banaš right now. And we have a co-leadership from Vice Rector Petr Bilik here in 5.3, Aurora Sustainable Campus. He will complement hopefully what's going on in VP5 today. And now very quickly, just the communication guidelines in Aurora, as you know, they consist of these two levels, Aurora Alliance level. So there are frequent meetings happening in Aurora Alliance level and between institutional coordinators and Aurora management team. But also there is Aurora management plan I will show you now about that sees to this equality communication also being a sustainable communication that will build the entire management of Aurora Alliance gradually. So I will come to that in a moment, but just to at our institution from the UP level, we have several communication levels or streams ongoing, and it's always important to mention them. We have project level communication, very vivid, with the communication policy, and this is happening through our MS Teams platform. We also see our project participants at Palackého as ambassadors of Aurora at their faculties, their schools. And we also have a students that participate in Aurora Student Board, but also are part of two student programs in Aurora, and we have communication with them as well, and they communicate amongst themselves regularly. Also, we have communication that goes through vice rectors for internationalization, education, and research, and through vice deans of internationalization, education, and research. We also have external communication through Ministry of Education and this is important to us at this particular moment also, where we communicate with other 3 European university alliances that exist in Czech Republic. This is just to give you the overview on the Aurora Alliance level, how frequently these meetings and engagements happen. I already mentioned that the board and committee meet frequently on quarterly basis. VRs for education and research meet on bi-monthly basis. Institutional coordinators meet on bi-monthly basis as well. And work package leaders meet monthly. On the activity level with work package leaders, then we have also monthly meetings between work package leaders with their activity leaders and co-leaders. We have team leaders and participants meeting 1 to 2 times per month, or sometimes more, depending on the dynamic in each activity. And we also have Case and Sabine, a program director and secretary, meeting with team activity team leaders and co-leaders actually quite often, as many times as needed. At Palackého University, we also have weekly meetings in our central team, and we have briefings that go from Vice Rector Kudlacek as a Vice Rector for Internationalization towards other Vice Rectors, briefing on Aurora also on weekly basis. And we have these kind of quarterly progress reports. This is the first meeting in the line of these quarterly meetings that we will be having, aligning with the reporting schedule of Aurora. We have also institutional coordinator meeting with the team leaders as often as needed. And we also have just formed a mobility working group in response to that new mobility draft for Aurora Alliance. And we will be meeting once a month in that working group as well, to see to all the interest of the staff mobility and student mobility in Aurora. And on the level of VP leads and activity teams, there are a monthly meeting between work package leaders with their activity teams, and also activity leaders and participants meet with their teams, I think more than once a month for sure. Also, this is very vibrant communication that has been happening across Aurora and that we are reflecting at our university. this is something, it looks very complicated. It's the first draft of Aurora management plan that has been going around now, and it's discussing the reporting process and its content. The reporting process starts from task team leaders or activity leaders, and it goes to work package leaders. Then it goes to these external working groups like vice rectors for education, and also vice rectors for research. This is addition that is not yet visible on this chart. And then it goes to the core technical work packages and leaders there. That's a work package 2, quality management, work package 1, management teams with institutional coordinators giving feedback there, and work package 6, which is sustainability of Aurora and dissemination. You can see the arrows going in all sorts of directions, but basically this is a co-communication or co-sharing process that is very important. And before we report to European Commission, there is several, I would say, validation processes here within this structure, Aurora governance structure, and the management plan to be considered. This is an important system. It's put in place to ensure that program meets its objective. Of course, that's the first step, but also to enable an enduring infrastructure to support our collaboration beyond these 3 pilot years. I would like to emphasize here that it's shared responsibility of task teams, work package teams, especially substantive ones, and work package 1 management team, work package 2 quality team, and work package 2 sustainability team. And this is where we are now. Actually, we just finished this, this first reporting stage, which was using the teamwork software that Aurora Alliance is officially using for extracting the information through surveys from the task team leaders. And there will be work package leaders now submitting by 17th of March their own information from the level of work packages in Aurora, an update, and that's a first phase. And then you can see the second phase is processing this information, having more meetings and receiving feedback, especially from Aurora office and the advisory boards with institutional coordinators. And then the third phase is reporting to the board, to the presidents, and finally reporting to European Commission, and that happens on an annual basis. This is just for you for the project team, especially task team leaders and the work package leaders, to orientate yourself in the different phases of this reporting that today we will be doing on Palackého University level as a first phase of updating what's happening at the work package level, from the work package levels. Bird's perspective, I would say. We have received the first draft of financial guidelines as well. This is about following, of course, European Commission's rules and regulations in reporting financial spending and using the resources that we have received from European Commission as a grant to support Aurora activities. This is just very first draft. It's a combination of the grant agreement that we have signed, the Consortium Agreement that I just presented that we will be signing under all together, and the internal institutional policies. It's about basic things in financial reporting and keeping records and reporting rules. This is just first draft. There is a meeting of finance officers today, actually. I think David Kosina will need to leave us at 1 o'clock because they have this first meeting to discuss the first draft that has been produced. And if you want to say something, David, you're most welcome.
Well, just very briefly, it's the first draft which summarizes the details which are placed in the grant agreement, and I expect that there will be questions to clarify several things. Some things are specific for Palackého University, for example, exchange ratios, which are not relevant to majority of the universities. So that's, for example, one of the topics I'd like to open. That's probably all to that financial guidelines, and if there is anything I need to consult, I will get in touch with other colleagues from Aurora.
Thank you. And that would be all from me, just brief overview where we are from the work package 1. There are several activities ongoing that I wanted to bring your attention to. That's the mini grant call that we have now, that we have initiated from Palackého University, which is much welcomed and really praised as a great initiative that other universities would like to follow in Aurora. Our deadline is 29th of March. All the information is found on our website in the instructions and also aims of the call. There's also Academic Spring Conference, 30th of March. Maria Jadrnička will mention a bit more about that, but also information is found on our website, and there is a student conference, upcoming student conference, same date. These are all, these last two events, the conference events are online events. They will take place on Gatherly. Yeah, that would be all from me. Thank you for your attention. Please, I encourage you to check our website for regular news information under the news section. And a bit more information will come from the work package 6, where communications and dissemination are a relevant part of the work. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Selma, for nice presentation. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank Selma, because so far from the beginning of the project and preparation till now, you have done extraordinary work. And I know many times we hear from our partners that we are completely reliable. We have been taking a lot of initiatives, including the mini grants, and actually I stole the idea from Charles University. First inspiration was when I heard a rector from Charles University speaking at the summit, which was in October, I believe, with European Commission, and to my surprise, it was not completely well received among deans when we were negotiating about the money allocated, but we did it this year pilotly, and I hope next year we will run it at full scale as Palackého University. So Selma, thank you very much for being the great representative of Palackého University in the alliance. Also thanks to David, because you work in a great tandem. David is supporting and making connection with Bursar, with Ministry of Education and Finances, because finances are critical. So this is a great tandem, Selma and David. I don't want to mention everybody, every member of our team, but thanks, great thanks and appreciation to this tandem, Selma and David. Thank you again. Now we will follow briefly according to the work packages. Work package 2 will be Vice Secretary Hanna Marešová. So please, Hanna, floor is yours.
Okay, good afternoon to everyone. Since Selma has already mentioned many main principles of quality management of our project, so let me maybe meet you with some of the main responsibilities and duties we have since we are the member of a work package 2. I just want to remind that we had 3 meetings so far. I mean the meetings of work package 2 leaders together, and as a result of these meetings, we prepared the draft of a document which I already sent to Martin Kudláček to have maybe some feedback from you. And this document, this is our quality management plan. This plan covers both formal reporting and also informal dialogue and communication during the project. So it means at one side, this is the formal quality assessment or quality management description. As well, it represents also the values and the mindset which can be, or you are responsible to think about it during all the project to maintain the values of Aurora Alliance. What does it mean for team leaders? It means that there will be two sort of reporting to the managing authority, which means one way is every 4 months we'll be reporting, focusing on our deliveries, outputs, and indicators. And 1 a year, it will be the complete monitoring report. And during this every 4th month reporting, the team leaders and work package leaders are responsible to give general remarks on progress towards the goals of the project. We will have to provide information on achievements like outputs and indicators. And we also have to rate engagement of each member of your team within your work package. And we also should identify risks or some red flags which maybe came from our activities during the project. And maybe the most important things for work package leaders is that during this short description of all the activities and outputs, you have to share maybe the key quality questions, which are the following. One is the relevance, which means if the results meet the needs of the institutions and alliance, it must be described in each report that way. The second one is coherence, which means if is there adequate coherence between the activities within your work packages? And the third one is effectiveness, which means if the results and outputs produced is those results to be achieved as an overall objective of the project. The fourth one is efficiency, which means if all the objectives could be achieved better or quicker, or is it everything okay in the time when you are providing the monitoring report? Then it's also the impact, which means if there are some signals that parts of the Aurora universities are picking up on what you are doing. So if it's useful for all the members of Alliance. And the last but not least is sustainability, which means that if there are some signals that the positive effects of the activities will continue after the finishing of the project. So all these key quality questions must be included as a part of our regular monitoring report. This is maybe the most important things for the work package leaders. But since we are in the stage of preparing the document and it is not finished yet, it is just draft, I would like to ask you, all the work package leaders, to give me some feedback, because we will discuss it at our meeting, which will be held at 15th of March. And at this meeting, we should finish the shape of this document. It's very important for. So, I mean, if there is something you would like to change or add to this quality management, and maybe sharing the values which should be included as a part of monitoring report, please give me the feedback. And I would like to ask you to give it to me in advance before the meeting of 15th, which means until 12th of March. I would like to have some feedback from you if you want to add something to the document in the shape made so far. So that's the main information about how the meetings of the quality management team is providing so far. And if there are some questions or some adds, you can ask me, of course. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the report. And as you mentioned, some of the information from your working group already went to the working materials for the management of the project. So thank you for active participation. If you do have any questions from Selma, David, or anybody for Vice Secretary Marešová? No? Okay. Thank you very much. So you are welcome to stay with us for the whole time, but I know you have some time restraints. So as long as you can stay, we will be happy. Thank you again. Now, work package 3 is the largest work package. It's a big ship. This Aurora is a big ship. So I think work package 3 is most extensive. So I'm actually very thrilled to hear what is happening in work package 3. So Vitek, floor is yours.
Thank you, Martin. Actually, at the moment, we are on the top of the first wave of questionnaires, because the first step of most activities in more sub-work packages are at the moment collecting data and information on courses and how universities across Alliance are able to on one side to react on the today's situation, how they covered the transformation to digitalization and online teaching, and on the other hand, collecting data, how far universities are on the top of SDGs. And that's why we discussed at Palackého University with all participants how to manage, because if I am talking about the top of the wave, maybe it is actually the bottom of the wave, because it goes continuously forward, and it will have a shape. But that what we are discussing is how far all these questionnaires and surveys could be most effective as possible, because it's possible to say that every week we are dealing with new kind of survey. They are focusing maybe in similar ways, in similar topics. And that's why we are thinking about a kind of synchronization all of these activities, that it wouldn't be necessary that academics, course guarantees and the program guarantees would be asked continuously for some similar data or some similar information. So that's why we also discussed at our last meeting, I mean at our last Palackého University meeting, how to deal with this situation and how to make it forward, because in this multi-level management of the program, it's just a bit tricky, because these new information or new ask for questionnaire are coming from diverse universities, diverse VP leaders, and through not just VP3, just also from VP4, VP5. So I think that that's a really important point at the moment. So anyway, we are doing our best. We are dealing all information with or across or Weinstein's body and participants, but anyway, I'm mentioning because it is a tricky issue, and it could be really, it is important for the beginning of Aurora, because more of academics are actually at the moment involved in the project just at this point, so that they have just filled surveys. And this could be confusing for some of them, that they are, because that's all the time somehow tricky, that because during last year, many surveys and questionnaires are on the table, and we should. One point, what I am thinking about, how far we can all these information collect somehow at the top, at rector's office, and so on, and how far we can centralize these information and spread it to faculties just at this point, if we are, for example, asking for, or if we have call like SDG master course across the whole alliance, what we are now discussing with Dr. Sirovatka and what we will discuss the next pedagogical committee. This is something what's necessary to go across the university, but yet some of these questionnaire maybe we can just hold at the rector's office level. That's one point. What we are just solving and thinking about, and the other point is deadlines of these questionnaires. Maybe, and this is a small question on you, Selma, if we can ask colleagues from Amsterdam, from the management of the project, if the shortest deadline would be 3 and more weeks for this agenda, or if we can have a kind of roadmap for these questionnaires that we can be prepared. I mean, also as rector's office can be prepared for this, because if these, if these questionnaires and if these questions are coming in a tagged week is not prepared before. So then it's quite difficult to react on all these agenda continuously and in time, which is planned actually by other sub leaders. Yeah, so that's one tricky point. What I would like to ask. Yeah. That's just briefly what we are, because now I can focus on all of these questionnaires, but I don't think it is important at this board. I think maybe I can remark that another information are running in terms of lifelong learning. It is going in the sub-domain teaching for social impact. And as I mentioned, the next step would be not just these asking for how far the organization is still on through questionnaires, but also preparing new course of SDG at master level together with Innsbruck, which will be prepared or called and then prepared during next May. So far WP3 and parallel to this at the WEARS for education, we discussed these mobility grants, what probably maybe will be remarked later, and now the next activity would be the March conference, the conference on 30th March, moving from analog to digital with quality, how we do that. As a wide platform for all academics across Aurora Alliance. So far, so brief news from WP3. It's it's very exciting, and I'm looking forward that all these, questions and issues we will solve very fast, and it will be, and then we can focus on these really important things as implementation on SDG across courses and programs. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Selma. Do you have any reactions maybe about the questionnaires, timelines, surveys?
Yes, I raised the hand, but I guess no one is seeing my hand. Yes, I wanted to say that work package 3 has 16 activities, and we are now in the phase of these pilot domains. So the 4 main pilot domains, collecting data across Aurora Alliance, mapping out the situation in teaching. So whether identifying those courses that align with Aurora mission, core mission, and in particular with the SDG goals. So these questionnaires, we've been discussing them during the latest work package 3 internal meeting at Palackého just recently. Well, the data collection that is happening from the levels of activities, and it's mainly, I would say, prioritizing or favoring the surveys. So the surveying technique, sending out the questionnaires across the institutions. But during our meeting, we actually identified that some of these questionnaires are not really necessary. So to give example, a colleague from multilingual, plurilingual activity, Marcus Obring, they had a questionnaire about how many languages, various languages that we have our teaching in at Palackého, but also at other institutions. And then because I was part of the meeting, and Teresa Kaluskova, who also works in the central team of Aurora and has an overview of the courses in various languages, well, she provided the access to database that Marcus could draw on and then provide that data to his activity leader. So I do think that it's important that we take more control where and when we can of this data collection that is happening now, because this is just really an early phase of implementing the activities, and it requires collecting, well, to have an overview. So that's why we have so much situational analysis ongoing through these questionnaires. I do think we should sit down and come together and see which resources we have, which we can employ from the rectorate level towards the activity leaders and provide them with information that may not involve these questionnaires at our university.
Yes, I think that's the biggest issue we have is that we need to get more concrete with Aurora. At the same time, it's very difficult to coordinate sometimes from Selma or from work package leaders. So I think that's very important. It's, first identify if there's any kind of the survey and make sure that we try to find the solutions and try to maybe supervise the activity persons in each work package, which sometimes it's very difficult, but be sensitive to that, because at the university people are very sensitive to, let's say the generating data that they perceive, they believe that we have available at the central office. So we need to be extra careful about that. If I follow the question to Vitek, what if you would say, because work package 3 is the biggest activity, what would you say as 3 things that you have achieved, you would consider the greatest benefit so far of Aurora? But we have only about 3 months and turbulent times, but three the most beneficial things that came to us, and maybe 3 biggest challenges. Maybe one of them was a surveying, but it's up to you. Three things that you would identify that this is top 3 and the 3 biggest challenges.
If I should talk about benefits, I had to start with these pluralistic view on student program agenda, not just in SDGs context, but in general. there is a lot of inspiration also through these, if I am talking about questionnaires, also in terms of this, because it is clear that there are many inspiration how we can enlarge the focus on learning the outcomes, on student activities, etc., etc. So that is really the most important issue. And actually, this wouldn't be not just these 3 points, but many, many points. And if I should mention something really challenging, that's let's say a kind of synchronization these agendas, what we are dealing, because if we are discussing some kind of topics like mobility and recognition, if we are talking about concrete step, all of us vice rectors are mentioning, we as professors, as teachers, we can say this or that, but all of us are just a part of institution, and all of this we had to discuss in our institution if we can then say as institution yes or no. And that's, I think, is more the most challenging thing at the whole project, how we can then fit our policies, yeah, etc., etc. Thanks.
Thank you very much. I think if we believe Selma, we also asked some people that are activity leaders from Palackého University to give us a brief summary, if I'm not mistaken, right? So
yes, this is Maria Rakova in Work Package 3, and we are ready to screen share her PowerPoint presentation.
Okay, because at some activities we are also activity leaders for whole alliance. So please, Maria, we are ready to hear your presentation.
Okay, thanks a lot. Selma, can you please, or Martina, yeah, can you please share? Yeah, that's it. Thanks a lot. Actually, we are 3 minutes over our time, so I will be very brief, but I hope clear. Can we go to the second slide, please? So I can do it. The second slide. Yeah, that's it. So just a brief reporting on what we are doing in the work package 3.1.2, which concerns international traineeships. During the monitoring or progress period, which is from November till February, which is 4 months, we were supposed to either complete or still work on 3 deliverables or sub-steps. The first one is setting up the community of Aurora international traineeship officers with relevant external partners, which are ISEC, local chapters, and also HR or personal agency called Randstad, which is operating worldwide. And newly or recently, we added also student representatives to our work package. And this sub-step or this phase, we have completed in month 1, which is in November. The second sub-step was to carry out a situational and needs analysis, which concerns our agenda of international traineeships. This sub-step or sub-phase is ongoing. We shall complete it in March, this month. The third sub-step is to announce the Aurora International Traineeship Program, which is also ongoing, and we shall finish with this sub-step in month 6, which is April. So these are 3 steps or sub-steps which we have completed or which we are still working on. Selma or Marty, can you please show the 3rd slide, which is sort of detailed presentation of these 3 steps? Okay, I can do it. Can you see the 3rd slide?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So concerning the first sub-step, our work package team consists a set of international traineeship officers from 6 universities: Amsterdam, Innsbruck, Napoli, Palackého University, Reykjavik, and Rovira. External partners are set, ISAC local chapters, I mean local chapters being attached to these 6 universities, and the personal agency Randstad. And concerning the student representatives, so far students from Amsterdam, Innsbruck, and Palackého University have joined our team. As for the second sub-step, which is still going on, we have nearly completed situational analysis. The aim of this analysis is to monitor the situation or implementation of international traineeship agenda at involved universities. So all 6 universities we have monitored. The analysis was carried out by means of Google Forms questionnaire, which contained 24 questions. The respondents we had from 6 universities which are involved in our work package. Altogether, we addressed 329 colleagues, respondents. We have collected the data within 3 weeks. After each week, we have sent an email reminder to complete the Google Form questionnaire. And after the sort of distribution time, we reached 49% of return or responsiveness rate, which is quite good in the context of the situation which was mentioned already before, that there are so many questionnaires and so many analyses that people feel sort of, they feel there are simply too many questionnaires to fill in to answer. So this responsiveness rate, I'm glad for it. We have very nice data to work with. Currently, we are analyzing them and interpret them, and we already reached the second subphase of this step, which is needs analysis. Next and following week, we shall continue with a needs analysis, which will not be by a means of questionnaire, but we decided for focus groups, way of gathering data. We will have 6 focus groups for each university, 1 focus group, and we already defined, I think, 11 topics or themes which we would like to get more deeper information, and then we will be able to analyze also this data, and we will be able to write reports which will cover situational as well as needs analysis for each involved university, and then we will compare the situation and needs across all involved universities. So this is step number 2, and then we have the third step, which is also ongoing, in progress. It concerns announcing or launching the Aurora International Traineeship Program, which started with defining the concept of our work package, which we discussed at the kickoff meeting beginning of November during biannual meeting of Aurora project. And currently we are in the phase of having a draft text of the Aurora International Traineeship Program, including conditions of participation, which reflect a draft of the Mobility Funds guidelines, which Selma already mentioned. This Aurora International Traineeship Program, if everything goes well, should be officially announced or launched by the end of April, so that students can start applying or at least asking about the possibility of being involved and carrying out the traineeship under the Aurora project. So I think that's all from me. If there are any questions concerning traineeships, international traineeships.
Thank you very much, Maria. I would like to ask for clarification. That means that starting in fall 2021, we would be able, or our students would be able, possible to apply for internship or apply in spring and go for internship in relation that could be somehow coordinated by our partner universities, for example, in Netherlands, Spain, Iceland. Is it correct?
Actually, if everything goes well, also with COVID situation, because it's quite simply it's quite difficult to carry out the traineeships in this situation. But still, we have this type of mobilities going on. It simply takes more time, and there are more and more restrictions. But if everything goes well, the plan is that the first international traineeships within the project will start already in September this year. I assume that these first traineeships will be the traineeships of our students going abroad. I mean, going to our partner countries. Why our students? Why to start with our students? At least from the situational analysis, we can see the evidence that our system of traineeships is in many ways more advanced compared to traineeships at our partner universities. We have the network of host companies. We have the preparation for trainees, etc., etc. So I assume our students will be the first ones who will start with traineeships already in September this year. Mm-hmm. But of course, the pilot period for those traineeships will be until nearly the end of the project, minus 2 months for writing, for evaluation of these traineeships. So until August 2023, we have the possibility to carry out these pilot traineeships. The other thing, beyond COVID is also money. As far as I know from our colleagues from the team, some universities will not have that much money for traineeships as we have allocated from the Aurora budget for this type of mobility. So let's see how many traineeships altogether, as for the finances, we will be able to carry out.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much, Maria. I think what we will need relatively soon, and this is perfect timing, is concrete outputs of Aurora project. So thank you for your active participation. Any more questions about internships from the floor or from colleagues online? Okay, thank you very much. I think especially for Niels and Selma, please keep that in mind that in April we should communicate the concrete outcomes in relation with internships, because this is what our students and our academic community expect. So please let's think about it. This should be the first very concrete outcomes of Aurora. So thank you again, Maria. Mm-hmm. So Selma, we don't have any other activities from Work Package 3, correct?
Not on the level of activity leadership.
Okay, I just want to double check because sometimes my mind is too fast. So I would like to ask now work package 4, which I believe is David Kosina, for a quick overview of developments of your activities.
Okay, good morning, everybody. I would like just to point out what said Vice Director Zohar, that there is the multi-level management, which is for us unusual, and I'm aware about that. On the other hand, I'm trying to perceive that as an opportunity to see something different that we are used to have in other projects. So that's just a follow-up to the work package number 3. In relation to work package number 4, which is called Aurora Engaging Communities, from the point of view of management at the level of UP, we had 2 work package meetings in January, in February, and the next will be at the end of March. We are trying to keep that monthly schedule to be on the track and see what's happening. On the other hand, I'm co-leading together with John Stiles work package 4 on the level of the Alliance, so I can see what's happening in the big picture of the whole project. There are 4 sub-activities or task teams within VP4, and I'll start with the VP 4.1. which is co-creation practice at the Palackého University, represented by Mrs. Veronika Glogarova. We are participating in the package. The leader is Univerzita in Amsterdam. That work package belongs to those which are more active than other, led by other colleagues, other partners. There are ongoing activities in preparation of co-creation courses and opening joint courses for the partners. Based on the information I got from Veronika, we can expect some first tangible results already this autumn. And as I said, this work package is the one which is more active. On the level of BP4, we can see that there are different speeds among the task teams. Some teams are really rushing in a positive way, especially those where we are involved on the level of leading or co-leading. Some work packages are still getting ready and gathering. I'll jump now to work package number 4.3 because we have representatives of 4.2 and 4.4 here, so I'll leave them the floor at the end of my speech. So in terms of 4.3, which is called social entrepreneurship, our representative on the level of UP is Dr. Krochtil, head of the Department of Economics and Management. 4.3 is the work package where we are participating. We are not co-leading, not leading, and therefore we are following the leadership structure given by the leading partner, which is Copenhagen Business School. That work package is the one which is still at the level of kickoff or preparation. The first big meeting where they will put into the details their actions is planned for the end of April. However, at the level of UP, we are trying to find overlaps and synergies, and we already see appearing synergy between 4.3 and 4.2 in organizing an event which is a traditional Department of Economics. However, we would like to have it as a part of Aurora events, and we are now discussing the details, how to make it to gain the biggest benefit for Palackého University and for Aurora Alliance. The last web package I would like to personally talk about is web package 4.5, which is the Aurora Institute. The Aurora Institute has been put in the application as sort of showing window, showcase screen of Aurora Alliance with 2 roles. First is communication and information sharing within the Alliance, And the second is to provide sort of interface with the wider academia and the wider public. The leader of this activity is John Stiles from Rovira Virgili University in Spain, and I'm from the position of co-leader of a whole work package, as well help with co-leading of work package 4.5. At that moment, together with the coordinator of the whole alliance, we decided on the technical background of Aurora Institute, which will have two parts. The internal part is represented by the reporting software TeamWorks, which is being used for internal reporting for the first time in March. And the second part, which shall serve as a wider interface for wider academic community and general public, will be the website of our alliance, which is managed by the coordinator of the whole alliance. At the moment, we established sort of our institute committee, which consists of the partners who are involved in managing this task activity. What is the job for us to do in the future is to connect that original idea, having something which represents Aurora, with an information flow to populate the web page and as well the internal system with the information coming from different packages, different activities. And that's actually what's planned for the second reporting period, to meet with the leaders of activities on the level of whole alliance and find information flows and types of information we would like to provide for wider public, and we would like to share among the involved universities. The latest news coming from the end from the next week is that there is a consideration to incorporate the project which will be discussed at the end of this meeting. It's a Horizon SWAF project, and to interconnect it with our institute as is written in the umbrella project of our alliances. These three tasks are those I wanted to present today directly. I'm the lucky one, as my colleagues in the web package are Selma Porobic and Maria Jadaničková, who are here with me. Therefore, I would not speak on behalf of them, and I'd like to give floor to them to briefly introduce their job in the activities, as they are co-leading or leading. So it's quite important role. Firstly, I'd like to ask Maria for point two to tell us what's happening on the level of her task team.
Thank you, David, for your introduction, and good afternoon to all. I will try to share my screen. Yes, can you see it?
Yes, we can see your screen.
It is just an appetizer for the upcoming Aurora Spring academic meeting. So first of all, the work package 4.2 is led by University of Innsbruck. And as you know, we are focusing on enticing the academic cooperation as well as setting up research platforms. At the moment, our primary interest is to somehow support the interaction within the Aurora academic community. And this is the one reason that we are co-organizing together with the Aurora Central Office this upcoming spring meeting. I would all like to invite all the followers to this event. It is a follow-up event to the one that took place last year in Amsterdam. And it was mainly about matchmaking and community building. So unfortunately, this year we are not so lucky to go physically to Amsterdam. Nevertheless, we try our best, and this meeting will take place digitally on Gatherly platform. which has quite good tools and enables for the setting up of, I think, 5 floors for each of the domains, including the social entrepreneurship. The meeting will take place on the 30th of March from 9 to 1. Regarding the topic, as you can see, we are dealing here with the most pressing issue, and that is how to tackle the challenges caused by the COVID pandemic. So we will try to set the scene for the academics to debate how they can ensure quality in this online environment, going from the analog, as they call it, to digital education. The other focus will be on how can we, in this era, provide the students with an international perspective when these mobility opportunities are so restricted. I believe that Aurora offers, or within Aurora Alliance universities, there are several tools and online tools which can be used. This is a great opportunity for academics, teachers to learn about these tools and to benefit from them. Maybe shortly to the structure of the meeting, because it's quite interesting. At the entrance, there will be a lobby in the form of information market, where you could come and have a chat with the representatives of each schemes. So there will be, for example, there will be an information desk on research possibilities, on Aurora competence framework, or on service learning and other tools and concepts. The sessions will run parallel. There will be these 5 sessions, and they will be chaired by the pilot domain leaders. Mostly, I have to say this spring meeting targets the representatives of the domain leaders, but of course all the academics who find it appealing are very much invited. We will be more than thrilled to have a good turnout from the side of Palackého University. Just to give you an idea of numbers, we would be expecting to have at least 5 participants from each pilot domain. Last but not least, this event, we perceive it as a stepping stone towards further developing the activities in 4.2. So depending on the number of contacts and initiatives or networking being made at this event, we would then like to help with organizing potential guest lectures, symposia, short-term internships, etc. So again, I cordially all invite you. The registration link is already open on the Aurora UPL website. And if there are any questions, maybe before I pass to my next slide to the conference. No questions, so I will, yes. I will not talk about all the different tasks in the work package, but I will just focus on an update. One of our tasks is to set up a guest lecture scheme. And currently, we have come up with this draft of a guest lecture series. We would like that each university has an expert in the domain, in the pilot domain, that would be willing and happy to give a guest lecture. This guest lecture would then be followed by PhD, we call it happy hour. So it would further be extended to doctoral students to discuss and take the issues a bit further. We are aiming to start in fall, in autumn this year. So far, the discussions in our work package have led to the conviction that we will stick to a digital form. This is not a large event. It should be rather something small. So there is it could be, it would enable us to proceed online, probably on Wonder. Maybe here I would also like to spread the word about these guest lecture series so early, because ultimately we will be needing and reaching out to those experts that could give an interdisciplinary lecture, and we will be needing to reach out for them at the level of University Palackého. The prognosis is that these lectures would take place ideally once a month, and we will see if they are a success or not. We hope that we can get this framework running. Yes, that's all for me for the latest updates. And I would like maybe to give the floor to Selma Porobic, who is leading the Capacity Development Support Program and has definitely a lot to say.
Thank you very much, Mari, for the update. I think this is a second example of very concrete outcomes for the Aurora. So again, I would emphasize to you, Selma and Niels, let's make sure that everybody knows about these guest lectures, and let's make sure that we will invite for the PhD networking, as you mentioned, because these are concrete outcomes. Today we have talked about the need to improve the communication, and I have a promise from the communication department. We will include Aurora as a regular part of newsletter. So let's make sure if we have the concrete outcomes, let's communicate them. So thank you very much for this. Okay, back to Salman.
Yes, I'm just a bit cautious of time because it's 12:15. We were supposed to have a break now, short break from 12 to 12:15. Do we want to finish and then have a break? How is everyone feeling?
My suggestion is that let's keep talking, and I think everybody can kind of leave on her or his own pace if we need to take water or something, which will be more effective than initiate the break. So somehow just keep going, and I ask everybody if this is acceptable, just take a break as you need and join us, because that we will be the most time efficient. Thank you.
Okay. Then I'm going forward. This is there is Maria Rakova raising hand, I can see.
Yeah, Selma, just one thing. I have another Aurora meeting from 1 o'clock, so I will be able just to join you until 1, and then I have to leave.
That's fine, thank you. So I hope everyone can see my screen now. I'm sharing the Aurora Alliance Capacity Development Support Program and our 4 associate partners now in this slide. Sorry. By now you know them. It's Kharkiv Karazin National University, it's Shafarik University in Košice, it's University of Tetova in North Macedonia, and Southwest University in Novotrilsk in Bulgaria. So these are our main associate partners, and towards them, the activities in this 4.4 capacity development support program activity are supposed to be adapted from Aurora level. But beyond these 4 partner universities as associate partners, we are also building a sustainable network in this activity. So adding 30 more universities in the so-called CDS University Network. That's also one of the outputs of this activity. So I'll just quickly give you an update where we are. This is the general information. Together with Teresa Kaluskova, I'm co-leading this activity at the level of Aurora, at the level of UP, and at the level of Aurora Alliance is with my colleague Anna Bohn from Vrije University in Amsterdam. Since this is work package 4, which is very much about that 3rd mission of universities that is so important to Aurora, the social engagement. So here we are working with bridging the gap in Central Eastern Europe with universities who are more emergent universities in terms of their internationalization and research and education being part of collaboration in this activity is therefore important. So we are supposed to reach 30 universities once this activity is over after 3 years of pilot work. And we are supposed to adapt at least 5 important topics from Aurora to the local context of our associate universities, but also this extended network. And we are supposed to come to build together some 6 projects, of which 3 should be externally funded during the course of this activity. Where we are now is that we have established this first deliverable in month 2. That was already done in November when we had the kickoff, because we worked very hard on forging the ties with our colleagues, associate partners, since we submitted Aurora Alliance project. So we have our community built, and we have also worked with putting in place the concept draft for these 6 information and awareness raising meetings to take place. They were supposed to take place at each of these host institutions of our associate partners. Right now we are doing webinars, and I hope that situation may change from autumn, but we don't know. So we are working with the online format. And we have already, as you can see, month 12 should be when we are finished with adapting 5 deliverables. We have adapted 3 deliverables, which are now part of these awareness raising meetings, which became actually training meetings for associate partners and the extended network. So we have done that. This is the community, just to show you. It consists of these 3 groups. So our associate partners, then our member universities in Aurora, and also the CDS network members who are not member universities and they're not associate partners, but they become part of this CDS network and take part of all the activities in this that we offer through 4.4. Right now we have 2 that have submitted their interest. The call is open. It will be running on, we will be accepting letters of interest throughout 21 and 22. So we hope to, in the end, have 30 universities, mainly from Central Eastern Europe, but also we are open to other parts of the world. It should be predominantly Central Eastern Europe, 80-20%. 20% can be universities from other parts. We've spread this call through our associate partners. They have a saying in this. They nominate some of the universities of priority to them in their collaboration, but also I've invited all the participating Aurora member universities and all the Aurora member universities to spread the voice about our network. We also have students. For UP, it's still Teresa standing in, but we will add a student. We are working on opening up this as an internship opportunity for one of the students from across UP. This will be announced through social media. We are working on this open call, but for now, the Teresa stands in on behalf of UP, and we have a student from Innsbruck and from VU joining us here to work with us. I just want to show you our initial plan here with the project months 3, 9, and 14 being implemented across the universities of our associate partners. Now we should have started with us, with Palackého, but we start with this online webinar, and these are those 3 or 5 deliverables that we have adapted to this first webinar. So it's the virtual mobility led by Innsbruck and Barbara Tesser. It's the social learning, so the model for social learning, led by VU, Marlene Zvekors. Also adding to that is Sarju from VU University as well, and co-creation model. And finally, Case Kovenar's model for competence, focusing inclusive internationalization. So we are now in this first webinar that we have as awareness raising session, sharing these 3 main models that are work in progress, but we are sharing the state of the art, introducing these concepts as a 3rd goal of universities, why service learning, why competence framework is important, and also how we are going to deal with virtual mobility to our associate partners. We have a concept draft of this. The webinar is taking place on 26th of March. We are right now working with finalizing the program. We have this is just to give you an update how we work and how we are organized. We have regular planning meetings each month with associate partners and the member universities. These top events that will be implemented this year are there. We already have the concept, as I said, starting with the first webinar, and then we'll see what happens. After the introductory webinar, we should have in-person trainings at these host institutions, at our associate partner host institutions. We will identify the targeted staff for that. And we are working on the network building. As I mentioned, the call is out, and we are welcoming the applications. The next step is external project planning, and we have upcoming meetings in this regard, especially with Duisburg Essen and University of Innsbruck, CBS, and Napoli University. They will be looking into possible calls. There are many calls that are coming our way, which we can use for these external projects, including the mini grants. So as you know, the associate partners are mentioned in the application of the mini grants, and they should be chosen, 1 or 2 or 1 between 1 and 4 of associate partners should be chosen for the mini grant submission of projects. That's in short. I don't want to take more time. Basically, this whole year is already planned, and we have everything ready in place to be where we are now. We had to produce a number of documents that were confirmed by Board of Presidents, especially the Aurora Alliance network of universities guidelines. So that took time, and that's why we were able to open the call for the network only now in March. So yeah, that's what we have so far in the CDS 4.4 activity. That's the update from me. Thank you. Any questions? I will stop sharing.
Okay, Selma, thank you very much. Do we have at this stage any feedback from the faculties or from our academic community about this? The members from Central Eastern Europe. Do we have any informal feedback so far?
We asked for nominations. We received one from theology faculty. That is Catholic University Lviv in Ukraine. And I invited colleagues to now inform them that it's the time to submit this formal letter of interest. So, but we count on that university. But other than that, we don't have any nominations from across the faculties.
Okay, yeah, we have to keep circulating the information and maybe be creative in addressing the possible partners. Let's bring it again on the table, not to use the massive kind of campaign for that, but maybe targeted campaign. Try to invite. So please remind me and Lebor Mikuláš, we can try to identify some specific partners. So
well, the list is filling up, and the colleagues from associate universities, especially now Petrilski in Bulgaria, are very active. So actually, there are quite many nominations coming from the associate partners. And I would encourage our colleagues, especially Vice Deans for Internationalization, to spread the voice again across the faculties and to invite for nomination of the, well, to use the call and to invite for letters of interest for those universities that they work with that could be of interest to them and to us as university.
Okay, I probably suggest and also use the chance that Dalibor is here. Maybe Dalibor, if we can do informal follow-up, just pick up the phone and get in touch with the Vice Deans because it has been on the agenda, but either Selma or Dalibor, depending, you know, or David, can just get in a short informal touch with Vice Dean and make sure we follow up. Okay, thank you very much for the update in work package 4. And now as time is ticking, we can move to work package 5. That is Pavel Banaš, right? So Pavel, the floor is yours.
Okay, so good afternoon, and I will try to share my screen if I'm allowed to do, and apparently yes. Okay, so I would like to briefly summarize the activities in work package 5. Which is focused on Aurora sustainability pioneers, and the aim of this work package is to introduce the sustainable development goals into the narrative of our university in terms of research, education, and the policy involving some sustainable action plan. So as you can see in our work package, there are just 3 activities. And the second activity was split into 2 sub-activities. So in activity 5.1, we are focusing on Aurora SDG research dashboard. It's handled by Robert Javorek. In activity 5.2, as I mentioned, it's split into 2 activities, and this is pretty complementary to what is happening in activity in work package 3. So in 521, handled by Jiří Tesařík, we are focusing on Aurora SDG education dashboard. In 522, it's Aurora SDG education offer. And in the third activity handled by Petr Bělík, that's about Aurora Sustainable Campus. Regarding the activity 5.1, the aim of this activity is to develop and disseminate the SDG research dashboard, which should be a tool that can say annotate the research output to see what is the focus of our research at the University of Alliance, and to better understand how our research is focused, where are the say opportunities for collaboration. According to the deliverables, the initial phase, of course, to develop such a model, such a research dashboard. The plan is to develop a tool based on machine learning. I have to say that Robert Javorek became or started to be very active in this task. So there is some preliminary tool which is roughly 75% of accuracy in identifying the SDGs related to specific research output, mostly the scientific papers. According to the activity 5.2, as I mentioned, it's split into two activities. The first one is roughly similar to the activity 5.1. So it's now about to develop our SDG education dashboard, which means to let's say map our study programs and study courses, and to see what SDGs are related to the particular courses and programs. Another sub-activity is to introduce the shared course focus on SDGs across the universities. Concerning the deliverables, in case of our SDG educational dashboard, the Alliance used a different approach compared to research dashboard, which will be based on some surveys. So there's a preparation phase for the evaluation platform of the courses and study programs. And with respect to or concerning the second sub activities, there is in preparation phase the joint course, which will be introduced probably this year. It should be introduced to the pedagogical committee at our university at the second half of March. And hopefully this will be an online course taking roughly 8 to 9 weeks, focus on SDGs. Regarding the third activity, our Sustainable Campus Action Plan, the aim of this activity is to develop some sort of this action plan and to map the policies across the universities and let's say to coordinate our activities in the setting this sustainable policies, how to handle our campuses, and concerning the deliverables, we map the current state and establish some plan how to create some sustainable action plan across the universities. We established a position of Sustainable Development Coordinator at our universities. The same position was established also at the University of Innsbruck, which is leader of this activity. I have to say that at the University of Innsbruck was inspired by our case in this particular position. So we expect that since April, they will continue the work concerning this sustainable action plan with these sustainable development coordinators as a key players. That's actually everything what I wanted to mention in this brief overview. And because Petr have to attend, Petr Bělík have to attend another meeting, important. So I'm ready to answer any questions.
Thank you very much, Pavel. I think a very important thing is that we have been waiting for a new person to join the staff of Palackého University, and I was informed today that the winner of the recruitment for the new Palackého University environmental or sustainable development coordinator was won by some young lady. According to our rector, he has been meeting with her just recently. So we have been waiting and pushing the launch of this activity. So I got promised that today I should learn if this person is starting by 1st of April or 1st of May. And as soon as we know that, we will connect this person with Pavel and with Selma, because this is a very important position. We have been losing the pace a little bit with our partners, but this is something that we have been waiting for in relation with this person. Selma, do you have any questions for Pavel?
No, I just wanted to add the role of students, because we did have very active Sustainable Palacký Association, and they were on board from the beginning, but I don't know what happened. So I guess it will all come together under this new coordinator. So I look forward to that, I guess, as of April.
I wanted to add or mention that according to the screening, it seems that at all universities across the Alliance, this aspect of sustainable campus action plan is systematically underdeveloped at all universities. So, well, there are a lot of things which need to be addressed, and I think that the Sustainable Development Coordinator is actually an important person in this agenda.
Yeah, very important. And I think not just in terms of informing about policies from the policy level of reduction of carbon footprint, but also in terms of education about environmental sustainability. So adding that to educational curricula and research. I think quite a lot of money is coming from European Commission in support of Green Deal, Europe Green Deal. So there will be a lot of focus on research in this segment as well.
Yes, actually. Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you very much for the work package 5. Are there any more questions for Pavel? Okay, so I think we are just waiting for the new person really to gain the next speed. So I would like to ask now work package 6, which I believe is Dalibor, right? The floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you very much. So let me speak a bit about the technical working package 6, focusing on sustainability and dissemination. That myself, Dalibor Mikuláš, and a very good colleague of mine, Niels Expoor, we have been participating in, together with Napoli University from Napoli. We have been co-leading this working package 6, and particularly we are leading the activity 6.1. Before I provide the floor to Niels. I would like to introduce somehow, practically speaking, to introduce this topic. First of all, we set up a platform, speaking about this working package 6, together with our colleagues from Napoli. We set up the platform at Microsoft Teams. This is a platform at which we have been meeting from the very beginning on a bi-weekly basis. So we have been in collaboration with the other 4 universities from the Aurora network quite frequently. So it's us, the Napoli, Duisburg, Essen, Innsbruck, and University of Iceland. So all of these representatives meet on a bi-weekly basis at Microsoft Teams platform, and we have been paying attention to the agenda going together with sustainability on one hand and dissemination on the other. That's the basic principle. And speaking about the contents of this working package number 6, I would like to ask Niels to present very briefly in 5 minutes what the focus of this working package is supposed to be about within the period of 3 years. Niels, floor is yours.
Sorry, had to get the screen up there to share, and also sorry for my camera, which is somehow a bit off with the background I have. I do not normally look this blue, yeah.
I see the avatar there, and I think the avatar was one of the symbols of sustainable development. So well done, Niels.
Yeah, I'm preparing for that role. Growing a tail now as well. No, but to skip like the more general introduction of work package 6 and to save some time, I thought it was maybe most useful to immediately go to our activity timeline and overview. Maybe I will go back, because what we have been mostly working on and our first and most important deliverable over the first couple of months of this project in work package 6, activity 6.1, is setting up the Aurora fast feedback mechanism. So in cooperation also with the quality management team in the end of work package 2, and then the support from the central office in Amsterdam, together with the participants of our work package that were mentioned earlier, we set up a fast feedback mechanism, which is to be implemented. So we worked on the way and the structure by which feedback should be gathered throughout the alliance, and then also how it should be addressed. So which steps it should go through in terms of processing, and how that all works together. We can I can share the Word document of that diagram. That might be an interesting addition, but first I will briefly go back to that timeline. So basically internal communication, which also was linked towards the first 4 months of the period. That is an ongoing process, so regular internal meetings, that's all somehow secured. But this fast feedback mechanism was really our main focus in 6.1 over these past couple of months. What is up next for us is in 6.1 is discussing in cooperation with our other participants in the central office in Amsterdam a staff training plan, which should be done in about 2 months from now. And then hopefully before summer, we should be able to host our first staff training based on values and methods developed elsewhere within the Aurora Alliance. We will gather the most important and most relevant parts of that, put that in a plan, and then set up a series of 3 annual staff training sessions which should happen in each year of the Aurora Alliance project. So that is what is coming up for us. So I will now stop sharing this presentation very briefly, and I will start sharing the Aurora fast feedback mechanism. So now here we just see a lot of text, but what we are more interested in is this diagram. If I can get that in the center, if we can all see this. I hope this is okay for everyone. So basically what you see here is that at both the top and the bottom of this diagram, you see how feedback should be gathered. So first of all, on a local level, each institution will gather its local feedback using primarily the website, but also the other channels of communication that are available. That feedback is then handled by the ICs and a local feedback team who will try to address the feedback that they can already address. And for things that might require a little bit more deliberation, or things, pieces of feedback that might be relevant also for other institutions and parties within the Aurora Alliance. This is discussed during a monthly institutional coordinator meeting, where also people from the central management team are available, as well as student representation. So then there will be a section, a possibility for internal feedback to be discussed in a broader sense. So the points that are relevant for other institutions or for the central team, they can be shared. Similarly, if we go to the top of that diagram, centrally collected feedback can, through the same monthly IC meeting, also be shared with the partner institutions within the Alliance. Then the information from that monthly IC meeting is gathered and presented with regular intervals, normally twice a year, to the Aurora board and Aurora board committee. So they can then reflect and make recommendations based on feedback that was handled in the past, or they can also step in and arbitrate in case that there is something that is really not solvable on the institutional level. So that's basically it for the feedback structure. Then I'm gonna stop sharing that now.
Niels, thank you very much. I think that for the moment that's enough. In fact, we have been dealing with two major topics. The first topic is obviously that fast feedback mechanism. Now we are getting ready for the training courses or training program for the trainings. Altogether, I have to generalize one very important message. The whole working package number 6 is dealing with sustainability from the perspective of the European University Alliance, Aurora European University Alliance, to be a lasting institution. So all those concerned bodies, universities, personnel, all of us, we have been dealing in this period of 3 years with this topic that focuses on arranging how Aurora European University Alliance is to be a lasting institution of higher education in European education, in the European education area, which is in the project mentioned at least for 10 or 15 years. So this is the basic message of the working package 6, which is not substantive, just a technical working package, but we have been, together with the other 4 universities, we have been in an active communication, paying attention to following this track. I would say for the moment, enough as far as working package 6 is concerned. Obviously, we are more than ready to any questions if there's anything like an interest. Niels, once again, thank you very much for helping me.
Okay, thank you very much. And I'm not sure if I have mentioned this at this floor. We have very close communication with Ministry of Education, National Accreditation Agency, and other 3 Czech universities that are engaged in alliance. And this sustainability issue and also the conditions and finances is a critical aspect of that. So thank you very much, Dalibor and Niels. Now we have the bridge from Aurora European Alliance project to, let's say, Aurora SWAFs projects, and we have invited Andrea Nogova to give us a brief update. I believe she might tell us a little bit more information about the event that is planned for Friday, but I leave the floor to her. Please, Andrea.
Hello, nice to meet you, everyone. Well, yeah, I will give just a short update because really on Friday there will be a proper presentation of the whole project and the work packages and people responsible for all activities and so on. So I will just quickly go through the last development. By tomorrow, we should support all the grant agreement data submit to European Commission and prepare a first version of description of the action, which is basically the technical part of the proposal. This will be somehow connected by the European Commission, and in the end it will be signed as the grant agreement of the project. The deadline for the signature of the grant agreement is on July the 13th. But we suppose that we will have it signed early this May. So hopefully we will be earlier than the deadline. And then we suppose that we will start the project on the 1st of October, which seems quite strategical because we didn't want to start the project before the holiday. So after the holiday on the 1st of October, we believe that we will organize a proper kickoff meeting. We will see what will be the COVID situation. In between, we will also have to prepare the Consortium Agreement. We would like to start the preparation phase next week. We will probably start it with the meeting of all work package leaders. And we will also discuss other activities, but the Consortium Agreement will be the main topic of the discussion. Well, yeah, and basically that's it for now. Important information is that on Friday it will be the proper presentation of the project, since there are many people from university interested in its activities, scope, and people involved. So yeah, that's it from me. It's all what is going on now.
Oh, okay, thank you very much. As Andrea has mentioned, there will be a 2-hour slot for the detailed presentation about SWAFs. Very importantly, we have shared the information about SWAFs with Vice Deans for International Relations. Vice Rector Jitka Ulrichová shared this information with Vice Deans for research and science, and also we have shared this information with deans. Still, we will need to do a bit more communication about that. We see the great potential for both educational cooperation and research-based cooperation within Aurora Alliance. As this event today is also streamed live on YouTube, so I'm not sure who is watching us, but please share the information with all academicians, because we are in a way on how to say it, tectonical break of 2 paradigms, which one is top down and one is bottom up. And traditionally, across the world, research and academic cooperation has started from bottom up. And the Aurora Alliance, as European Alliance project, is trying to strengthen the European higher education area by actually piloting the top-down approach. And all of us are complete novices. Although we are among the best Czech university, we have received many awards, we are still novices in developing top-down approach of strategic cooperation. But we have been very open and inviting and inclusive to all academicians. So please share this information with all your colleagues, because we still get the information that message is not trickled down to the departmental level and academicians level. So please let's do this work, and also invitation for the Friday event. If you don't have details about the event and you would like to participate, please write to Selma. Selma will have all details. Selma is kind of helping to bridge, as Selma is a key person as institutional coordinator for Aurora European Alliance project. Then also Andrea Nogova is a key person for SWAFs project, but now the Selma has more dense network, so we will use that. And as I mentioned, for Aurora Alliance project, it's a tandem of Selma and David. Now in the preparation of SWAFs, because SWAFs will start only in October 2021, Selma will tandem with Andrea to make sure that we can have as big impact as possible on our academic community. So this is kind of bridging and closing remark on me. I would like to ask anybody first, if you have any questions or comments, especially about Aurora or what you have heard so far today. Okay, I see this basically is sharing the information within our internal team, and I'm very happy that I see some concrete things popping up, and it's good that we have identified this issue of surveying and greater need for coordination. So I asked Selma to follow that up, Selma, Niels, especially with Vítek Zohar, possibly other coordinators, to make sure that Aurora has a good label, because it is very difficult to gain a good name, but it is very easy to lose a good name, because if I, as academician or departmental head, would receive 10 surveys for Aurora in one day, I would be probably frustrated. So this is extra homework for us. But thank you for update. And Selma, I leave the last closing words to you, as you are the lady of Aurora as institutional coordinator. Please, the floor for your closing remarks.
Thanks. I was just putting my remarks in chat. Was not sure if I would be able to thank everyone. So I really want to thank everyone in the team, in the project team, and from every level, not just the activity level, for this first reporting. I've been able to see all your reports because I have access to Teamworks, that software that we are sharing among each other in Aurora, especially in the managerial team. And I'm really grateful for all the work, a lot of hard work invested, despite the model of online working being quite, something that we are still all adjusting to. So I just want to thank you all, and we should continue in this spirit. I think things are moving forward despite the restrictions online very well in building our community with colleagues across Aurora Alliance. And just to add finally with the SWAFs, which is the Horizon Project Science for and with society. This is another important piece of sustainable Aurora Alliance management. So building this inter-university campus that was mentioned today, while Aurora focuses on education, SWAFs will focus on bringing our research strategies and resources together. So it's really important that we all collaborate and that we join our efforts together in bringing not just education, but also research and innovation under the internationalization roof. So thank you all once more, and I look forward to our next reporting meeting, which will be in 4 months.
Okay, thank you very much for everybody. Enjoy the day. It's sunny here outside. Stay well, stay healthy, stay negative in COVID matters, and stay positive in all other issues of life. Thanks for everybody. Have a good day. Bye-bye.